Building new and chimeric reagents must be carefully weighed against potential gain-of-function concerns. Then jump to the end of that research report, and what do you find? Quote, "We thank Dr. Shi of the Wuhan Institute of Virology for access to bat COVID sequences and plasmid of WIV1 COVID spike protein. Research was supported by the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, that's NIAID, and the National Institute of Aging of the NIH." And then listed next to that, you'll see the numbers for two separate grant awards. Now, it's very clear. The NIH and NIAID absolutely were studying bat coronaviruses and spike proteins from those bat coronaviruses provided by the Wuhan Virology Lab. That is stated clearly and plainly, and that the study was being done to determine gain of function of those spike proteins in coronaviruses. It's all very clear. If you're looking for a smoking gun, there is nothing more clear that is absolutely stated in this 2016 report. Now, notice in that report, it specifically thanked the Wuhan Virology Lab and the NIH and NIAID, and it gave two numbers for the specific grant awards that made this work possible. So what were those worth? $31.2 million for the first and $10.5 million for the second grant award. That means that over 40 million US taxpayer dollars went into the amplification of making the Wuhan virus more pathogenic to humans. That doesn't even include the biodefense series that Fauci administered to DARPA. That was all separate, and that included more than $21 million for additional gain-of-function research. So all in, that means that after the U.S. government came out with a moratorium in 2014 that said no U.S. taxpayer dollars can be used to fund gain-of-function research in this country or anyplace else, the research was offshored or moved into a military capacity under DARPA, and over 60 million U.S. taxpayer dollars continued to flow into gain-of-function research.
But again, we have not funded gain-of-function research on this virus in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, no matter how many times you say it,
there was research.
So why lie about this? Why is Fauci sitting in front of Congress and lying about gain-of-function research? Well, one of the biggest reasons for that is because he can. Because the media will not question him on these things. No mainstream broadcast news report is going to bring you the very clear documentation and facts that we just shared with you. They're going to instead play the clips of Fauci being tough and standing up to Rand Paul and shouting down so-called conspiracy theories. But they're not conspiracies at all. It's clear, black and white, in documents and documentation that has been emerging on the internet now for over a year, that the NIAID and NIH were using taxpayer dollars after the U.S. government said you can't to continue to fund what now we know to be some of the most dangerous research in the history of the world. Dangerous to world economies, dangerous to millions of people who have died from the coronavirus, and dangerous to the future of populations and civilizations moving forward. Why? Because now Fauci says he wants to continue this kind of research going forward into the future. And the bottom line is, Fauci can get away with it because journalists in broadcast and legacy media won't challenge it, and social media companies will purge anyone who dares to question it.